Adwa, your take on this?
Michael, I've had the privilege to always visit DreamsFC at the because of where I live. Yes, and these are boys that are determined to move forward. Fine, they've never been anywhere before, but there's always a first time in life for everything. If this squad is being beefed up by one or two, or probably I said probably. Let me land. Probably 10.
You should understand where Kobe is coming from.
I understand
because they have the experience and looking at how they have been humiliated in their last 2 appearances.
Looking at because they have been several times. Yes.
Our last appearance we were not humiliated.
I understand.
Are you were?
I understand.
The last one we were not humiliated. The one we lost to
Dreamsfc. How many goals did you take there?
When it comes to DreamsFC, yes, they've not been anywhere before.
It's not humiliation.
Kotoko has started the same way. Okay. So they have their goal, they have their targets. I think when they sit down and plan very, very well, they will get somewhere. There's always a starting point. So I pray that they should allow the boys to go. I know financial everything plays in it.
They will go. They will go.
Yeah, they will go. I know they have what it takes. Because at least, not that I'm with them, but I've been around them. I've always been there. So I know what they can do. So I wish them well already in Africa. For me, they should get to money zone.
Do you think the match will
But you see, this thing about money zone. Look, yesterday we were playing cards. And, you know, we were using stones. You pick stones. So after we are done picking, after the 15 stones that we are 4, so everybody, and when the stones at the center is finished, they picked by all. And we have to pick from each other. We term it as the money zone. Then I was thinking about it, that why in this day and age do we still have something called money zone in a continental competition?
It's just wrong. It's wrong.
You go to
Europe is not like that.
Yeah.
It's about number of matches played.
That is it.
That's what they used to pay you. So you shouldn't get to certain stage before you get money.
Especially knowing the economic conditions
on our continent.
Yes, within this continent. Do we not think that we have gotten to a stage where if clubs qualify, no matter how small, but shouldn't they be cushioned by the confederation or the organizers of the camp? Must they wait until they have gotten to the group stage before there's something called the money zone?
I think that is for the Confederation Cup. With regards to the Champions League, normally they do get something before.
Normally, since when?
I don't know.
You said Champions League give us.
Champions League, don't they have appearance? They don't give.
You have to get to different stage before you start getting money. So mostly your first qualifier, you don't get anything.
Okay.
I think when you get to the second round,
you get
something. You see, the thing is that CAF is bent on introducing whatever African
Super Cup League
or whatever. My question is, if you have existing competition that's not doing well, why don't you invest in that competition? Why don't you make it that robust, that people will have interest in that, rather than creating another one? I don't get it. It might be a good idea, fine. But the Champions League is our prime product on the continent. So why don't you make it very creative? And look at the Confederations Cup, which is the second prime product. So now on the continent, we have the African Cup of Nations, African Champions League, African Confederation, and we even have the same for the women. So why don't you make sure that we resource these, and those investors that we want them to come and invest in African whatever Super League, what can they invest in our Champions League and our Confederations Cup, so that when you qualify, as soon as you qualify, you get some money. Because European Champions League, if you qualify for Europe, you get some money from European Champions League, from the Europe for participating. So at least now that maybe DreamsFC has won, maybe they will get at least they are guaranteed some $100,000 or $150,000.
From where?
Maybe from CAF. I'm just looking at CAF.
CAF.
You understand? So that you know that now you've come to a recreative competition and you are benefiting, so that you can get some of this money to beef up your squad and do